Believe me, nothing feels better than a brand new car, but you could be losing thousands in value the minute you drive it off the lot.
In many cases, after 3 years, the wholesale value of that automobile may be half of what it was new.
Think you're making a smart investment with that shiny new car? Think again. What I'm about to reveal will save you from making the most devastating financial mistake of your life. These aren't just bad purchases, they're financial suicide on wheels. Today, I'm exposing the 10 new cars with such catastrophic depreciation that only someone who actively hates money would sign on the dotted line. We're talking about vehicles that will lose more than half their value before you've even paid off half the loan. Cars that drop in value so fast, you'll be underwater before the new car smell fades. The automotive industry doesn't want you to know this information. Dealers definitely don't want you to know it. But I'm pulling back the curtain on the most financially destructive vehicles you could possibly buy in 2025. Whether you're shopping for a luxury sedan, an electric vehicle, or an SUV, there are financial landmines waiting to explode in every category. And I'm going to show you exactly which models to avoid at all costs. So buckle up. What I'm about to reveal might just save you tens of thousands of dollars, or even prevent a future bankruptcy. These aren't just cars with bad depreciation, these are financial disasters with wheels. The Depreciation Reality Check. Before we dive into our top 10 list of automotive money pits, let's get something straight. All new cars lose value. That's a given. The moment you drive off the lot, that new car becomes used, and you can expect to lose 10 to 20% right there. But what we're talking about today goes far beyond normal depreciation. We're talking about vehicles that lose value at such an alarming rate that it defies all financial logic to purchase them new. Imagine buying a house for $300,000 and finding out it's worth $100,000 just 5 years later, with no natural disaster or economic collapse to explain it. You'd call that a catastrophic investment failure. Yet people willingly do this with cars every single day. Why does this happen? Several factors drive extreme depreciation: reliability issues and high repair costs, rapid technological obsolescence, oversupply in certain segments, manufacturer price cuts on newer models, shifting consumer preferences. The vehicles on our list today don't just check one of these boxes, they check several or even all of them. That's why they're not just bad buys, they're financial catastrophes waiting to happen. And what's truly shocking is that many of these vehicles are marketed as premium or luxury purchases. The reality couldn't be further from the truth. So let's dive into the list of the 10 cars that only financial masochists would purchase new in 2025. Jaguar I-Pace. The shocking EV collapse. 72.2% depreciation. Taking the crown as the absolute worst vehicle for depreciation is the Jaguar I-Pace. This luxury electric SUV loses an astonishing 72.2% of its value in just 5 years. Let that sink in. A vehicle that costs $80,000 plus new will be worth around $22,000 after 5 years. That's not depreciation, that's financial self-destruction. The I-Pace was supposed to be Jaguar's triumphant entry into the electric vehicle market. With its sleek styling, impressive performance, and luxury badge, it seemed poised for success. The reality has been anything but triumphant. Why has this happened? It's a perfect storm of depreciation factors. First, Jaguar has a long-standing reputation for questionable reliability. Combine that with the complexity of electric vehicle technology, and you have a recipe for buyer anxiety. Second, the I-Pace suffers from limited charging infrastructure compared to Tesla. While Tesla owners enjoy access to the extensive supercharger network, I-Pace owners must rely on a patchwork of public chargers of varying reliability. Third, and perhaps most damaging, the I-Pace was quickly outpaced, no pun intended, by newer EV models with better range, faster charging, and more advanced technology. In the rapidly evolving EV market, a 5-year-old electric vehicle is practically ancient technology. The result? A vehicle that hemorrhages value faster than almost any other on the market. If you bought an I-Pace new, you'd lose approximately $12,000 in value every single year. That's $1,000 a month in depreciation alone, before you factor in insurance, charging costs, and potential repairs. Only someone who genuinely despises money would make this purchase. And yet, dealerships are still selling them to unsuspecting customers who don't understand the financial calamity they're signing up for. But the I-Pace isn't alone in the luxury EV depreciation disaster. There's another high-end electric vehicle that's burning owner equity at an alarming rate. BMW 7 Series. The flagship financial disaster. 67.1% depreciation. Coming in at number 2 on our list is the BMW 7 Series, the pinnacle of German automotive luxury engineering, and apparently the pinnacle of value destruction as well. This flagship sedan is projected to lose 67.1% of its value in just 5 years. Let's put some dollar figures to that percentage. A new 7 Series with a sticker price of $100,000 plus will be worth roughly $33,000 after 5 years. That's a loss of over $67,000, enough to buy a brand new BMW 3 Series with cash and still have money left over. The 7 Series has always been BMW's technology showcase, packed with the latest innovations and luxury features. And therein lies the problem. Today's cutting-edge technology becomes tomorrow's outdated system at an increasingly rapid pace. That advanced driver assistance system that added $5,000 to the sticker price? It's obsolete compared to newer systems just a few years later. The infotainment technology that seemed revolutionary at purchase? It's now generations behind the current offerings. Adding to this technological depreciation is the shrinking market for large luxury sedans. As buyers increasingly gravitate toward SUVs, the pool of potential used buyers for these massive sedans is drying up. It's simple economics. When demand drops, so do prices. But what's particularly alarming about the 7 Series depreciation curve is how quickly it accelerates. The steepest drop happens in the first 2 years, meaning many owners find themselves dramatically underwater on their loans almost immediately. Imagine owing $85,000 on a car that's worth $60,000 just 2 years into your loan. That's not a vehicle, it's a financial prison. The only scenario where buying a new 7 Series makes any sense is if money is so meaningless to you that you wouldn't notice $67,000 missing from your account. For everyone else, it's financial lunacy. But at least the 7 Series delivers genuine luxury and performance during those expensive years of ownership. Our next entry combines catastrophic depreciation with questionable reliability for a truly toxic financial cocktail. Maserati Ghibli and Levante. Italian exotic, American depreciation, 63.7 to 65% depreciation. There's something undeniably seductive about Italian luxury vehicles. The exotic badge, the heritage, the distinctive exhaust note, the styling that turns heads everywhere you go. Unfortunately, there's nothing seductive about what happens to their value. The Maserati Ghibli sedan and Levante SUV are projected to lose between 63.7% and 65% of their value in 5 years. A $90,000 Levante will be worth roughly $31,500 5 years later. The Ghibli fares even worse in percentage terms. But raw depreciation is only part of the Maserati ownership nightmare. These vehicles combine catastrophic value loss with some of the highest maintenance and repair costs in the automotive industry. Maserati owners often joke that Maserati stands for "My auto sucks. Every repair arouses total insanity." There's more than a grain of truth to this gallows humor. Out-of-warranty repair costs can be astronomical, with even routine maintenance running into thousands of dollars. What makes the Maserati situation particularly ironic is that beneath their exotic styling and badges, many components are shared with much less expensive Chrysler and Jeep products, a result of Fiat Chrysler's corporate ownership. This part sharing becomes increasingly apparent to knowledgeable used buyers who adjust their offers accordingly. The Maserati depreciation curve isn't just steep, it's a cliff. By year 3, these vehicles have typically lost more than half their value. By year 5, you're essentially giving them away. Who would buy these vehicles new? Only 2 types of people: those so wealthy that a $60,000 loss is inconsequential, or those who simply haven't done their homework. For everyone else, a new Maserati purchase isn't just unwise, it's financial malpractice. But exotic Italian luxury vehicles are expected to depreciate heavily. Our next entry is more surprising: an affordable EV that loses value at a rate that would make luxury cars blush. Nissan Leaf, the EV depreciation leader, 64.1% depreciation. The Nissan Leaf was a pioneer in the affordable electric vehicle market. As one of the first mass-market EVs, it helped pave the way for the electric revolution. Unfortunately, being a pioneer has a significant downside: rapid technological obsolescence. The 2025 Nissan Leaf is projected to lose 64.1% of its value over 5 years, a staggering figure for a non-luxury vehicle. This rate of depreciation is usually reserved for high-end luxury cars, making the Leaf's value collapse particularly alarming. Why does this relatively affordable EV lose value so dramatically? The answer lies in the rapidly evolving nature of electric vehicle technology. Early Leaf models had a real-world range of less than 100 miles. While newer models have improved, they still lag behind competitors. In the EV world, range is king, and the Leaf simply doesn't compete with newer entries that offer 250-plus miles of range at similar price points. Additionally, the Leaf uses the CHAdeMO charging standard, which is losing the infrastructure battle to the more widely adopted CCS standard used by most other manufacturers. As CHAdeMO chargers become increasingly rare, Leaf owners face more challenging charging situations. Perhaps most critically, battery technology has advanced significantly since the Leaf's introduction. While the vehicle itself might last for many years, the battery's capacity and range will decline over time, making older Leafs increasingly impractical for anything beyond short commutes. The result is a vehicle that becomes dramatically less desirable on the used market with each passing year. A new Leaf might seem like a reasonable purchase at around $30,000, but when it's worth just $10,800 5 years later, the financial math simply doesn't add up. For potential EV buyers, the Leaf's depreciation story offers a crucial lesson. In the rapidly evolving electric vehicle market, technological obsolescence can devastate resale values. Buying a new EV that's already behind the curve technologically is a recipe for financial disappointment, but at least the Leaf is relatively affordable to begin with. Our next entry starts at a much higher price point and still manages to destroy value at an alarming rate. Tesla Model S. The Elon effect. 16% year-over-year drop. Tesla has long been the darling of the electric vehicle world, with a devoted following and strong resale values that defied traditional automotive depreciation patterns. Those days appear to be over, particularly for the flagship Model S. The Tesla Model S has experienced a shocking 16% drop in used values year over year, translating to an $8,837 loss in just 12 months. This accelerating depreciation represents a dramatic shift for a brand that once saw its used vehicles selling for more than new ones during production shortages. What's behind this sudden value collapse? In a word, Elon. Tesla CEO Elon Musk's habit of slashing new car prices mid-year has had a devastating effect on the resale value of existing Tesla vehicles. When new Model S prices drop by $10,000 overnight, every used Model S on the market immediately loses at least that much value. These unpredictable price cuts have created a climate of uncertainty in the Tesla resale market. Potential used buyers are hesitant to purchase, knowing that another price cut could further erode their investment at any moment. Adding to this pricing volatility is the rapid pace of Tesla's technology changes. Features like full self-driving capability are constantly evolving, making older versions less desirable. Hardware changes mean that older vehicles may not be capable of running the latest software features, creating a tiered system of Tesla desirability. The Model S also faces increasing competition from both Tesla's own lower-priced models and new entrants from established luxury manufacturers. The unique appeal that once commanded premium prices is eroding as more options become available. For potential Tesla buyers, the message is clear. The days of Teslas being depreciation-proof are over. These are now normal vehicles subject to normal or worse market forces. Anyone buying a new Model S should expect significant value loss over time, just like any other luxury vehicle. But if American electric luxury is struggling with depreciation, how are the traditional German luxury brands faring? Our next entry suggests the answer is not well at all. Audi A8L, the luxury sedan collapse, 62.7% depreciation. The Audi A8L represents the pinnacle of Audi's sedan lineup. Its flagship luxury cruiser designed to compete with the Mercedes S-Class and BMW 7 Series. With a starting price well into six figures when properly equipped, it's a significant investment by any standard. Unfortunately, it's an investment that's projected to lose 62.7% of its value in just 5 years. In raw dollar terms, that's a staggering average loss of $57,724, more than the cost of many brand new vehicles. The A8's depreciation story mirrors that of the BMW 7 Series, and for many of the same reasons. Large luxury sedans are facing a perfect storm of market forces that are devastating their resale values. First, consumer preferences have shifted dramatically toward SUVs, shrinking the pool of potential buyers for large luxury sedans. With fewer buyers competing for used examples, prices inevitably fall. Second, the technology that justifies the A8's premium price tag becomes outdated at an increasingly rapid pace. The cutting-edge driver assistance, infotainment, and convenience, features that commanded a premium when new quickly become expected baseline features in newer, less expensive vehicles. Third, these complex, technology-laden vehicles can be frighteningly expensive to maintain outside of warranty. Potential used buyers factor these future costs into what they're willing to pay, driving prices down further. The A8's depreciation curve is particularly front-loaded, with the steepest drops coming in the first 3 years. This means many owners find themselves severely underwater on their loans almost immediately, owing far more than the vehicle is worth. For potential luxury sedan buyers, the A8's depreciation story offers a stark warning. In today's market, purchasing a new flagship luxury sedan is a guarantee of massive financial losses. The smarter play is to let someone else absorb that initial depreciation hit and purchase a 2 or 3 year old certified pre-owned example instead. But luxury sedans aren't the only vehicles suffering from severe depreciation. Even full-size luxury SUVs, once considered relatively safe from dramatic value loss, are now experiencing unprecedented depreciation. Cadillac Escalade ESV, the American luxury collapse, 62.9% depreciation. The Cadillac Escalade ESV has long been the vehicle of choice for executives, celebrities, and anyone else wanting to make a statement while traveling with 6 passengers and their luggage. With a sticker price that can easily exceed $115,000 fully loaded, it's a significant investment. Unfortunately, it's an investment that's projected to lose 62.9% of its value over 5 years. A particularly shocking figure for a large American SUV, a segment that has traditionally held value reasonably well. What's driving this unprecedented value collapse? Several factors have combined to create the perfect depreciation storm for the Escalade. First, rising fuel costs have made these massive gas-guzzling behemoths increasingly expensive to operate. The Escalade ESV's thirsty V8 engine can easily cost $150 or more for a single fill-up in many states, a reality that's finally affecting buying decisions. Second, interest rates have risen dramatically, making financing these expensive vehicles much costlier. Monthly payments that seemed manageable at 3% interest become prohibitive at 7% or higher, reducing the pool of potential buyers. Third, and perhaps most significantly, the post-pandemic pricing bubble has burst. During the height of inventory shortages, Escalades were selling with markups of $10,000 or more above MSRP. Today, dealers have plenty of inventory and are offering discounts to move units. This whiplash-inducing market correction has been brutal for recent buyers. Many who purchased at the peak of the market in 2021 and 2022 now find themselves underwater on their loans, owing significantly more than their vehicles are worth. The lesson for potential Escalade buyers is clear. This is not the market environment to purchase a gas-guzzling luxury SUV if you're concerned about resale value. The days of large SUVs being safe depreciation bets are over. But American luxury isn't the only segment suffering. Our next entry shows that even Japanese luxury brands aren't immune to the depreciation disaster. Infiniti QX60, the luxury badge tax, 61.5% depreciation. The Infiniti QX60 represents an interesting case study in depreciation. As a luxury midsize SUV from Nissan's upscale brand, it offers 3 rows of seating, upscale features, and a comfortable driving experience. It's also projected to lose 61.5% of its value in 5 years, one of the worst depreciation rates in its segment. What makes the QX60's value collapse particularly noteworthy is what automotive insiders call the Nissan Pathfinder problem. The QX60 shares its platform, powertrain, and many components with the less expensive Nissan Pathfinder, a fact that becomes increasingly apparent to used vehicle shoppers comparing the two. While initial buyers might be willing to pay a premium for the Infiniti badge, upscale interior materials, and more comprehensive warranty coverage, used buyers are far more value-conscious. When they see essentially the same vehicle available with a Nissan badge for significantly less money, the Infiniti premium becomes much harder to justify. This platform-sharing depreciation effect isn't unique to Infiniti. It affects many luxury brands with mainstream corporate parents. However, the QX60 seems particularly hard hit by this phenomenon. Adding to the QX60's depreciation woes is Infiniti's struggling brand image. Once positioned as a compelling alternative to established luxury marques, Infiniti has failed to maintain its brand momentum. As the brand's prestige has diminished, so has the value of its used vehicles. For potential QX60 buyers, the depreciation data tells a clear story. the luxury badge premium you pay when new evaporates quickly on the used market. Unless the Infiniti ownership experience is significantly more valuable to you than the nearly identical Nissan experience, the financial math simply doesn't add up. But at least the QX60 is an established model with a track record. Our next entry shows that being the new kid on the block can be even more financially perilous. Volkswagen ID.4, the EV depreciation disaster, and Dodge Hornet, the unproven newcomer. We've reached the final spots on our list, and they're occupied by two very different vehicles with one thing in common: devastating first-year depreciation that makes them financial disasters for new buyers. First up is the Volkswagen ID.4, which has earned the dubious distinction of ranking among the worst depreciation performers in the electric vehicle category. Despite being a relatively new entry in the market, the ID.4 is already showing alarming value loss that should give potential buyers serious pause. Why is this happening? The ID.4 faces several significant headwinds. Competition in the electric crossover segment has exploded, with nearly every manufacturer now offering compelling alternatives. What was novel when the ID.4 launched is now just another option in a crowded field. Volkswagen's software and user interface have been widely criticized, especially compared to more tech-savvy competitors. In the EV world, the digital experience matters enormously, and the ID.4 simply doesn't deliver. Perhaps most damaging, electric vehicle technology is evolving so rapidly that today's models feel outdated almost immediately. As newer models with better range, faster charging, and more advanced features arrive, older EVs like early ID.4s become significantly less desirable. The result is a vehicle that loses value at an alarming rate, making it a purchase that only those unconcerned with financial prudence would consider new. Finally, we have the Dodge Hornet, a vehicle that earns its place on our list despite being relatively new to the market. Already ranked in the top 10 for rapid early depreciation, the Hornet demonstrates that you don't need a luxury badge to lose money at a luxury rate. The Hornet suffers from what industry insiders call the unproven model depreciation penalty. As a new nameplate without an established track record, used buyers approach it with caution, driving down resale values. Adding to this uncertainty is Dodge's historically poor reputation for resale value and reliability. While the brand has made strides in recent years, perception lags reality in the automotive market, and the Dodge badge simply doesn't command strong resale values. Perhaps most damaging is the Hornet's relationship to the Alfa Romeo Tonale, with which it shares a platform. The perception that the Hornet is a budget version of an already depreciation-prone Italian vehicle creates a perfect storm for rapid value loss. The Hornet's place on our list serves as a reminder that even relatively affordable vehicles can be financial disasters if they depreciate quickly enough. A 40% loss on a $35,000 vehicle is still $14,000 down the drain, money that most buyers can't afford to lose. Now that we've examined these 10 automotive depreciation disasters individually, let's step back and look at the bigger picture. What can we learn from these value-destroying vehicles, and how can smart consumers avoid becoming victims? First, it's clear that we're in the midst of a major market correction after years of inflated values. The pandemic-era seller's market, with its limited inventory and dealer markups, created artificial price levels that were simply unsustainable. What we're seeing now isn't just normal depreciation, it's the market violently snapping back to reality. Second, the luxury and electric vehicle segments are experiencing the most dramatic adjustments. Luxury purchases are always the first to be reconsidered during economic uncertainty, and we're seeing that play out in real time with these steep value declines. Meanwhile, the rapidly evolving nature of EV technology means today's cutting-edge model can become tomorrow's outdated tech product almost overnight. Third, and perhaps most importantly, the speed of today's depreciation is unprecedented. In previous market corrections, values typically declined gradually over years. What we're seeing now is values plummeting by thousands of dollars in a matter of months. A 2025 Tesla Model S purchased in January could be worth $10,000 less by June. A new BMW 7 Series might depreciate by $20,000 in its first year alone. This isn't normal depreciation, it's a financial freefall that's leaving many owners severely underwater on their auto loans. And the most alarming part? For the vehicles on our list, there's no sign of this depreciation slowing down anytime soon. If anything, economic headwinds suggest the situation could worsen before it improves.